Hello YouTube, my name is Yes, and welcome back to some more Super Smash Bros. Ultimate DLC Volume 2 Speculation. But this time, speculation in a very different matter, not because it's different in most scenarios. It isn't. It's very similar to what I've done in the past, and I'm pretty sure I think I've done this before. Have I done this before? I think I've done this before. Well, anyway, but this time the difference is, however, is that in the past we've done speculation, and it's been speculation based on nothing, gut feelings, or just random conversations we all had throughout the years. This time, though, it's different. This time, we're making speculation about something we know. We know that in June, a character from ARMS not only will come out for Super Smash Bros. Will be revealed, but also come out for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. That's a huge deal. Now, we don't know if the character is always supposed to come in June. We did hear that there was supposedly some delays happening because of COVID-19, but mostly that kind of sort of was with meeting with publishers, which probably delayed stuff, but not too much, given the fact that in Japan things were improving. I'm hearing now that things are once again going down a little bit, but let's not get into those type of topics right now because it's not the video for it. And going over this, we have, obviously knowing that we have a character from ARMS coming in, we have a clear line of characters that we can discuss. Unlike before where we could be discussing a shit ton of characters and literally throw a dart in and maybe get the franchise correct, or in some cases you have pretty obvious characters that most likely would be in Super Smash Bros., aka the Banjo-Kazooies, the heroes of this world, you know, characters that seem obvious but always had that little thing going into them that made them kind of impossible. This time we know what's happening, we know the franchise, and it's not a huge franchise that has been years spanning a franchise that has a multitude of characters to choose from. It's a franchise, I mean, with one game that's coming out for one game with a small roster being ARMS. So with that, let's start the speculation off with the characters that are possibly coming to the game, or coming to Smash, not to the game, it's already are in the game. Okay, so before we delve into the characters, actually, let's talk a little bit about ARMS and sales there. A lot of people say that this game was a failure or a flop, which both of them couldn't be more wrong. A lot of people get this perception that it did poorly because it came from the Mario Kart team and people were expecting it to be the next Splatoon. But in the genre that it's in, a fighter, especially a 3D fighter, it actually sold very well. As of December 2018, so roughly a year and a half, ARMS sold 2.21 million. That's, I believe, higher than or on par with Street Fighter on the PS4 and PC, and Tekken 7 on the PS4, PC, and Xbox. Obviously less than Mortal Kombat, but outside of Mortal Kombat and Smash, nothing really pulls in the heavy numbers, especially not in the beginning. And ARMS, as a brand new IP, as of December 2018, had 2.2 million, and the game right now could logistically be as high as, well, 4 million, and that's a little bit pushy. I say as high as 1 million, but it's very unlikely, so more on the realm of 3.5 million, because Nintendo only reports on games that sell 1 million each financial year. So ARMS, I don't recall how much ARMS had sold in the financial year as of that went from April 2018 to March 2019 to reach the 2.21 million and stopped there. So then we didn't get any more information until later, so we cannot really discuss how well it's been doing since then. So maybe 4 million is the highest it can go, possibly, going with saying the game sold like 300 to 400,000 plus units in that final quarter of 2018 financial year of the January to March 2019, and then from 2019 until now, with selling like 700,000 units, being under like the maximum of the game, or 800,000 units, I mean, selling more being under the 1 million, so Nintendo wouldn't report on it, but still doing the maximum amount of damage. Still very unlikely. But with that, with those 2.21 million bare minimum, we come to the conclusion that ARMS has outsold all of the entirety of the Xenoblade franchise, and by extension, I believe the entire Xeno franchise. It beat all but one F-Zero and Star Fox games, both of those games on the SNES, which again, we don't know the numbers for ARMS, the more recent, more up-to-date numbers, so ARMS could have beaten them already, we just don't know, as both of them were, I believe, and let me get this information correct, at 2.99 million. Let me just make sure I am correct. No, at Star Fox at 2.99 million and F-Zero at 2.85 million. But those are the highest of the franchise. Then we also have the situation that it beat all but two Metroid games, with the original Metroid selling at 2.73 million and Metroid Prime, the first Metroid Prime on the GameCube, selling 2 point, where is it? Wow, I cannot find it right now. That's embarrassing. I just saw it, and I'm feeling extra dumb because I know. Okay, wow, actually, Metroid Prime sold 2.84 million. Just that I was looking at the numbers, and it is above a game like Animal Crossing on a GameCube, funnily enough. And speaking on GameCube, it sold the entirety of the Pikmin franchise. Pikmin, the highest it got was Pikmin 1 at 1.6 million, and it got outsold. And the Pikmin franchise doesn't have the same stigma that the ARMS franchise has, despite the fact that the Pikmin franchise being developed by the 2D Mario series. So, you know, big hefty shoes for that one. And also, ARMS has outsold all but 3 Fire Emblem games, being outsold only by Fire Emblem's Awakening, Fire Emblem Fates, which Fates kind of is a technical stealing. It's on a technicality because Awakening, for example, is at 2.28,000 units, 2,280,000 units, which puts ARMS very little behind it, and then Fates at 2.94, but Fates is the combination of Birthright, Conquest, and Revelation, there being no split, so it's kind of a cheat to say that ARMS hasn't beaten 3 houses or Fates, but technically speaking it hasn't, and according to the last numbers we have, it did not unfortunately, but it hasn't beaten Fire Emblem 3 houses being at 2.58 million, while ARMS is at 2.21. ARMS has also, funnily enough, beat Tropical Freeze on the Wii U. Tropical Freeze on the Wii U sold, where is the numbers? Jesus, I have to go up and down this picture. Tropical Freeze on the Wii U sold 2 million, so 200,000 units more for ARMS, although it has lost to Tropical Freeze on the Switch by 4,000 units or 40,000 units, I believe. That's the difference. Yeah, 40,000 units between the two is what the difference maker here. So, you know, it's one of those things. ARMS got a bad rep because the Mario Kart team developed it, despite the fact that the 2D Mario team developed Pikmin. Nobody complains about Pikmin games being done over that. So, you know. But anyway, moving on, let's talk about the possibilities of the characters that could logistically be in. And there we have a select number. We have Springman, Ribbon Girl, Ninjara, Min, Twintail, Helix, Max Brass, and Dr. Coil as the 8 characters I can kind of see happening. And let's look at all these characters either individually or in a pair. And I actually think I'll bring them up in pairs apart from one. I will bring all of them in pairs, why not? The first pair would be Springman and Ribbon Girl, the faces of the franchise as soon as it was revealed. Both of them were the first characters that we were ever introduced, and they're effectively the mascots. Promotional work and stuff was all about these 2 characters. The cover art is both of these characters. They are also the 2 characters that were the representatives for the franchise in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, with the fact that both of them were spirits, and both of them got one specific thing about them. Springman becoming an assist trophy and Ribbon Girl becoming a spirit. But how likely is it either or of them to being in Smash Bros? Actually, I think between the two, Ribbon Girl would be the more likely of the two, given the fact that she's just a spirit. And I know some people are going to say, oh, spirits deconfirm characters. Yeah, I think, yeah, a JPEG is going to deconfirm a character from being in Smash Bros. Despite the fact that a 3D model, a fully rendered 3D model of the characters didn't deny them access in Super Smash Bros. 4. I guess you must be right, mate. When, you know, when trophies were much more complex to make than goddamn than a goddamn spirit. As a matter of fact, anybody can make a spirit. If I wanted to, I could take any video game character, remove their background from any scene in any video game, remove their background, and put it into Super Smash Bros. And mod it into Super Smash Bros. Give them a random effect, and boom, it's a done deal. Seriously, I get so tired of this. The spirits JPEGs can deconfirm characters because reasons. People say it hasn't happened yet, so because it hasn't happened yet means it will never, ever happen. I guess Nintendo must have had a full-fledged Nintendo Direct because, you know, we never went over 6 months in the Switch era without a proper Nintendo Direct, and I guess also that we don't know which character is coming in June for Super Smash Bros. We don't even know when the character is coming because they haven't done yet. They haven't announced a release date and the reveal of the character without actually revealing the character. And I guess we also don't know ARMS is going to be a character because, well, or we're going to get an ARMS character because, you know, we don't know. They have never done it, announcing the character, the franchise the character would be coming in from, because, you know, it never happened, so we never will. God damn it, people, use your brains. The only spirits that might deconfirm a character would be the spirits that came from specific events, like the Resident Evil event or the Astral Chain event, because those, at least you could say, if they were going to be bringing in spirits from those franchises, why not wait until the character being revealed, or a character coming in, which didn't happen. Seriously, anyway, Ribbon Girl, I would say both between the two again will have the most chance because she's just she's just a costume and a spirit. Springman is a costume, a spirit, and an assist trophy. Now, obviously, they could replace the assist trophy and bring Springertron, I believe that's the name of the character, and replace him. Even the character like Mask Brass could replace him, but at the same time, I kind of don't want to give Waluigi fans the hope of Waluigi being potential a DLC character, because they will become, and they already kind of are, the Ridley fan base of this generation, except much more annoying than the Ridley fans ever were, funnily enough. But anyway, moving on to the other two characters, I'm going to head them up for no particular reason, will be Helix and Ninjara. All the other four characters have a specific thing that can link them together. Helix and Ninjara are interesting characters. Ninjara is one of the spirits in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate from ARMS, so he could, and one of the first characters we ever saw alongside Ribbon Girl, Springman, Mechanica, I believe her name is, Master Mummy, and, well, Ninjara were the characters in the reveal trailer. He's also one of the most liked characters in on ARMS, one of the most recognizable and popular. Same thing goes for Helix. It was one of the last characters I remember, I'm remembering wrong, to be revealed and showcased to the public, but one that immediately gathered a fan base because Helix is goddamn hilarious. I actually really enjoyed the design of the character. I think it could be one that would be very interesting. As a matter of fact, it could have an up B, for example, where it would just be him stretching, which is his ability in ARMS, which would be kind of cool. It could serve as an attack and just a mobility set. Also, by the way, this video is all about speculating on the character. I won't speculate too much on the moveset because I don't know much about ARMS. I don't have ARMS. I've played very little of the demo. I might get the game trial and try it out, but I'll be completely honest, I have played very little of the game, so I won't be pretending to have this vast amount of knowledge on the character. I know that the characters swap, and you can swap weapons, I think, or no weapons, arms, So that would be the gimmick of the character, no matter who it is, but I don't want to get too much into that because that's not really what I can do, and I think there's people better suited for that than myself. But I will, however, discuss what I think would be their final smash, because that's something I think it's not really. It could be one of two things. I think I know what side they're going to choose, but I could be wrong, obviously. But then again, when it comes to Ninjara and Helix, although I do see both of them being popular, and Helix specifically being a character that would be great to see in Smash, both of them lack the, not the oomph, but the character to be a DLC, not to be DLC, but to be the first representative of the franchise in. Because normally the franchise is represented either by the mascot or the protagonists. That's how Smash franchises have always gone. The first character of any given franchise either is the mascot, in the case of an ensemble cast, or it goes to the protagonist, with characters coming after them being, the more popular characters that pop with the fans. Like, you get Pokemon, for example, ensemble cast. You could say that the main character is red, but the Pokemon trainer doesn't fight. So, who is actually the playable characters, basically, when it comes to combat, are the Pokemon. So, Pokemon would be, you could argue that it's an ensemble cast, which it is. You don't need to use any specific Pokemon to beat the game. And obviously, because of the limitations of the N64, you can have Pokemon Trainer, and technically speaking, you could say that while Pikachu is a Pokemon, it's the Pokemon that is fighting in the game, you could logistically say that it comes out of a Pokeball. So who's to say that it doesn't have the Pokemon Trainer controlling it? As a matter of fact, I think only Mewtwo doesn't come out of a Pokeball, meaning that actually every single Pokemon in Smash could logistically just be the Pokemon Trainer using them. So, you can have that debate. But Pokemon got this mascot first, and then it was the more popular characters. We got Mewtwo, somehow, someway we got Pichu, which was just a clone, and it could get in as a way to expand the roster. And then we had Pokemon Trainer with Squirtle, Ivysaur, and Charizard, popular Pokemon. Same thing with Lucario, followed by Greninja and Incineroar. Characters that either were popular or were given the title of mascot of a specific region. I think only Greninja didn't get the title handed to it of mascot. Lucario had its own movie and became the mascot for Generation 4, and for Generation 6, Incineroar kind of took also that mantle. Generation 6 suffered more from the past Pokemon getting that push as a mascot because of the Mega Evolutions and stuff that happened. Fire Emblem, for example, could be considered an ensemble cast, and kind of is. Got its first character as the protagonist of the first game, Marth, which is also the mascot of the series. So it always goes with that. So Ninjara and Helix would fall under the line of characters that could come later as semi-clones or individual characters, but I don't think they could utilize the title of first. The same thing can be applied to Max Brass and Dr. Coil. Both of them could come in. They have relevancy in the lore of ARMS, which could be explored later on in an ARMS eventual sequel, but they kind of fall in line, same thing with Helix and Ninjara. While they will be characters that could be cool and they could have a lot of weight in the franchise, especially going forward, I do believe they're even implied to be Springman's parents. Could be wrong on that, so don't quote me on it, but please correct me if I am wrong, or say that I am correct. It's always nice to hear both sides of the debate, or not the debate of both sides of it being wrong or right, anyway. But both of them could logistically, not both of them could logistically make it in now, they could make it in the future, possibly, especially if they gain more relevancy in the franchise. But Max Brass, for example, could be a character that could come in to replace Springman as the assist trophy, should Springman be the assist trophy itself. Once again, very much down off Springman, so these two kind of fall in line with Ninjara and Helix as possibilities and interesting characters, but I feel they fall flat, coming in as not being mascots. And finally, we get to the two characters I feel like kind of sort of have a very big possibility in Minion and Twintail. Because despite the fact that neither of these two girls are the mascot, they're both highly popular characters. I wonder why. But most of these characters have interesting game designs as characters, and they're characters that people love. And funnily enough, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, both of these were the final two of the Party Crash ARMS things that happened. Party Crash was basically ARMS Splatfest, if I'm not mistaken. And Min Min and Quintel were the tournament of popularity basically between the characters, and they were the final two, with Min Min coming out on top. Now, this doesn't mean Min Min is more popular than Quintel, it just means that if you're playing Min Min, we're better than people playing Quintel. But given the fact that we have an ARMS character in Super Smash Bros., or it's coming in Super Smash Bros., what if that tournament was to decide who was going to be the character that would be going into Super Smash Bros.? Min Min won it, so maybe Min Min could be it. And just like Max Brass and Dr. Coil, Min Min and Quintel, given their popularity in ARMS, they could be thrusted forward into the future as two prominent mascots of the franchise. I don't think Springman will ever leave the spot of the face of the franchise, but I could see Quintel and Min Min possibly aiding and becoming secondary mascots, or mascots in their own right, and ARMS having those three people as the main people that people will talk about and remember. Now, I said 8 characters, I talked about these 8 characters. However, there's 2 secret options as to who could be the character coming in from ARMS into Super Smash Bros. And those 2 ones, one is a realistic one is hella stupid. So I'm going to start with the hella stupid. The hella stupid one, and one that I very much doubt that would happen, is that the character comes in as a hero scenario. As in, instead of having one singular ARMS character, we get 8. So instead of being, say, Springman becoming the playable character, it's Springman as the default icon, but Ribbon Girl, Ninjara, Min Min, Quintel, Helix, Mass Brass, and Dr. Coil would all be these alternative costumes, which doesn't fit at all with ARMS. ARMS characters all do the same thing of punching and their arms stretching, and they can swap arms. That's the very rudimentary part of ARMS. But each one of these characters has specific traits to them. Quintel can stop time, Min Min can reflect things with a kick. Springman has a comeback mechanic. Ribbon Girl has a triple jump. Ninjara can dodge by puffing into air. Helix can stretch. Max Brass, I believe, is the same thing as Springman, but a little bit sooner, I think, or a little bit more powerful, I forget. And I don't actually know Dr. Coil's one, so I'm not going to say what I think it is. I'm just going to leave it at that. So every character plays differently, and that goes exactly against, although they all play quote-unquote the exact same, all of them play a different game style, so that's why I don't think it would be appropriate, or would be something that Sakurai himself would do, which is pick all of them together. I think it's dumb. I think it's a stupid thing that people are bringing up. I don't know why it's even being brought up. Honestly, I think it has to do with people either forgetting what ARMS is or knowing jack and shit about the game. So honestly, if you don't know what you're talking about, don't say it. I know jack and shit about Bravely Default. You're not gonna see me go around talking about the potential of who's gonna be if Bravely Default got a character in. I could speculate a little, but I wouldn't be like, oh yeah, bring in all these other characters because they would play exactly the same way as the main character. I don't know. I'm not gonna say if I do or not what they should do. Heck, even I've never played Kingdom Hearts, but if they're announced like, oh, Kingdom Hearts is coming to Smash, by the way, and it's not Sora, I'll not be like, oh yeah, you can bring this 10 characters just because they're all from the game. That's stupid, honestly. Or, for example, if they said like, oh, Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition characters coming in, I would say, I'm pretty sure I can have a good grasp of who is gonna be, but I'm not gonna be like, oh yeah, but also put Charla and Dunban and Ryan and Ricky. All of them could be it. All of them could be the costumes. No! There's one character and then there's the other costumes. But that's beside the point. The 8th and final possibility or not 10th and final possibility I should say, the one that kind of makes sense that could happen, is the advent of a new character for ARMS 2. This whole thing could lead up to ARMS 2 being in development, which would be very interesting. Because personally, I think that the Mario Kart team and the ARMS team has been working, obviously they probably most likely have been working on the game since they ended ARMS in 2017. My personal feelings were that they were doing a brand new IP because it just makes sense. I don't think there's any reason to make the Mario Kart 9 like people say. Actually, Mario Kart 9 is one of the things I think is hella that makes no sense at all. And one of the reasons people have brought up as to why, most of the reasons people bring as to why Mario Kart 9 could be in development doesn't make a lot of sense, as in Nintendo has always made, every Nintendo system has always had one Mario Kart, to which I would say Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is on the Switch, which you could reply, but that's a port, which then brings us to the conclusion to that point, which would be, yeah, it never happened before either. They never ported Mario Kart to a system. So if they never ported one to a system, and now we have one ported, we cannot say that every Nintendo system has ever there's never been a Nintendo system without its own original Mario Kart, because, well, it doesn't happen before, doesn't mean it will happen now. Same thing with the port. Never happened before, it did now. So, and the other one is, you cannot put away a game that could sell upwards of 20 million, and you're right. They could, however, put it to the side to the next system, which is going to need it 10 times more than the Switch. And honestly, that question could also been, and that argument could have been used as to why Mario Kart 9 should already be on the Switch. Because let's be completely honest, the Switch needed Mario Kart 9 a hell of a lot more than it did in ARMS in 2017. Yet Nintendo made the conscious choice to make Mario Kart 8 and the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe happen as always ARMS, because it was more important to them to diversify their catalog than to just make the Mario Kart 9. But hey, that's just my opinion. But if the Mario Kart team has not been working on a new IP, I thought that maybe they would be reviving a Nintendo franchise, another Nintendo franchise. I did not expect them, if ARMS 2 is a thing, to be working on ARMS 2. And it kind of fits with what Nintendo was doing. Not only is ARMS coming to Smash as the first character, it's also, fun enough, going to be revealed and released in June. Now, I'm not saying it was, obviously this was always planned this way marketing-wise, and things probably have changed not as much as we think in certain scenarios for games, but one thing that has changed was what was going to happen in June, and I still think we're going to get in June, is a Nintendo Direct, but we're going to get E3. Maybe Nintendo at E3 was going to not only announce the ARMS character, but also announce ARMS 2, and with everything that we E3 going belly up, they could still go with it. But like, think about it. We just had the announcement of a character coming to Smash, and it's happening in June, revealed and released. And not only that, we also have, if you're a Nintendo Online subscription owner, you can play the entirety of ARMS in a free demo, which not even a demo, is a free trial of the full game. Which comes, you could say, arm in arm, but wouldn't it make more sense to do that when the character released? Or maybe they're going to do it again when the character released, I don't know. But also, they haven't done this with any other game, so the possibility could be that Nintendo is going to be revealing ARMS 2, and that the new main character, the new face of the franchise, let's put it that way, the new mascot, could be the character that gets into Super Smash Bros. Although I like this to be this possibility, I would have to put it as the lower end. So, to cap it all off, because I've been speaking for a hell of a long time, what are, in my opinion, the more likely characters to be in Smash? I would say I would put Min Min and Twintelle as the highest probability of the two. When it comes to gameplay-wise, I would say Twintelle probably can get more usage out of herself, let's put it that way, because Twintelle, unlike every other character, still uses her arms. The way she fights is with her hair, so she would still have her arms and legs to punch and kick should she need, like in a grab or something. But Min Min is always also up there. Also, I completely forgot about it till now. The final smash, I think it's going to be one or two things. Well, I think it's one thing, which would be Headlock. You know, the mask from the game that comes in and takes control of somebody. I think that's going to be the final smash. Maybe that, a flurry of attack or a combo. I don't know. Because like the Fury attack or whatever it's called, already what Springman uses as a part of his assist trophy. But I could see the arms rep getting that gimmick of the full out attack or whatever it's called, by having a bar like the punch, the knockout punch from Widowmac, the Limit Break, you know, where you press it and then you activate it, a flurry of punches, which would be interesting. So after Min Min and Twin Tail, I would say Ribbon Girl has the highest possibility, followed by the new character, unless any of the other characters takes the role of the protagonist, main character, whatever you want to call it, followed by Ninjara, and Ninjara, Helix, Max Brass, and Dr. Coil, just below that, followed by Springman, and finally with the dumb idea of the 8 different characters being a part of it. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Tell me in the comment section who do you think is going to be the Arms Rep coming in June 2020. Thank you guys for watching. I've been Raj of DS. See you guys next time.